All right, today we're going to hear a story from Joanie and David, how they traveled from Canada to Mexico. Hey guys, how are you doing?
I'm good. What about you, man?
Also good. I can't complain. Much better than I deserve. So you guys left Canada when exactly did you leave? And for what reasons? If you can tell us a little bit
Yeah.
how you
Yeah,
made that decision.
we did a nice trip. When?
It was in November.
Yeah, in November. We started in November, driving our car with our dog, pass the United States, stop in Mexico, go down to Costa Rica, pass all the border. So great adventure. Not so easy, but great adventure.
It's a long trip, right?
It is. Yeah.
Yeah.
The first jump to the US is just as long as like all the Central America. basically.
Exactly.
So it was
Yeah.
a few days that we slept in the car and then back on the road.
So in terms of like travel time, how long did it take you for the whole trip, like to get down?
So just past the US about 4 or 5 days.
Like
Go through the US to Mexico.
4 days, 4 or 5 days.
Yeah.
Then
Mexico.
same thing from
Yeah.
Mexico to Costa Rica. So total was like 10 days.
Yeah.
Makes sense. So we did like one border.
Yeah, it's
every day.
yeah, it's 4 or 5 days in the United States, 4 or 5 days in Mexico to pass in
Yeah, to
Mexico,
go down.
and then another 4 day from the south of Mexico to Costa Rica. We did that in 4 days. So straight line.
That was very
Yeah, 4 borders. And yeah, is this 4 borders? Costa
4
Rica.
days and 4 days.
Yeah, 4 borders in 4 days. So yeah.
That was really
Wow,
cool.
that's crazy.
More than us, but it's just fine.
Right. Now, what people are wondering, right, is of course how they can import a car because that's usually very challenging, right? I imported my car too, and it was actually not that difficult, but how was the process for you? Like, how much did you pay?
So I want to start Mexico, and you're gonna do the rest, right?
I don't have all the numbers, but yeah,
Yeah.
we can.
So Mexico, you already, I know you did it. You did a video on it. The tips to import your car, and then the insurance. For us, we pay the insurance at the border. We pay the visa at the border. We pay everything. It costs about what, 400 something for the insurance, and then
200 for the permit.
yeah, another 200 for the car, and then $80 each for the visa.
Yeah. And
So
we didn't pay for the dog in Mexico.
no,
There
we
was
didn't pay
nothing
anything.
to look at.
No fee for the dog, no deposit.
No, not
no,
I
not
also
in
didn't
Mexico.
pay.
They didn't care.
Yeah, just make sure if you have an animal, make sure the vaccination, or at least like minimum of 6 months, but try to do it in the first, like inside the first month if you can. It's just gonna be yeah.
My dog is pretty fine traveling in the car. Like, he loves it. His smell, his environment, so I think
Yeah.
it's probably also the same for your dog, right? Was also pretty
Yeah.
easy, right?
Yeah. It wasn't so hard with the dog. It's just you need to stop a little bit more. But yeah, so 5, 6, 7, like a little less than $900 to pass the border with the car, the dog, plus the visa, around $900. Yeah,
Yeah, the big chunk of the car.
yeah, including insurance and everything.
And when
So
I always, which you
I'm
told me
sorry,
was-
please go ahead.
is that you always want to have cash with you, because like most of the time they'll ask you for a ton of photocopy of like your passport and things like that. And I tried to be very like prepared, but there was always like one thing I didn't do exactly the way they wanted. And there's always this guy with the like photocopy, like the machine, and you need to pay these people on tip like left and right. So always have a bit of money in your pockets.
That's how it works here, You gotta pay to play. There's no other way.
Yeah.
There are some secret ways on doing business here in this country for sure. Welcome to Mexico. But you said you paid a $400 deposit, right? I also paid that. I paid mine in cash. Now, for me, it's been like 3 weeks since I arrived here, right? So I'm hoping to get my deposit back because I did pay cash.
Yeah.
So were you able to get yours back or not really?
No.
How did that work?
No,
I'll say don't expect this. If they give it back, well, good for you, but yeah, we
Well,
didn't get it.
on paper, David, it's like you get it back when you export the car, right? Whether that's in America or Belize or Guatemala, that's when you're supposed to get it back.
Yeah,
But you can see that if you wait, let's say, until your visa almost elapsed, 180 days, because the problem is you can't file a chargeback for that long. That's the real problem. But if you pay cash, then you're supposed to get it back right on the spot, I guess. But you
Yeah.
paid a credit card, right?
Yes, we paid the when we asked
Yeah,
for Mexican
yeah.
border, we had nothing. We
yeah,
were
that's
not
true.
prepared.
Well, I
Yeah,
hope
we pay
it's
with
still-
credit card.
I hope it still comes back at some point.
But I will not bet on this, but anyway, like it's part of the game,
Right. Okay, so you left Mexico, and then what happened? Like, how were you able to bring your car into the southern countries? Like, what was the process like, and how long did it take you to get all the paperwork, or were you able to do that at the border there as well?
Yes, so that's what we learned also with Mexico. Like if you try to be prepared, it somehow get things more complicated because they don't understand where you get your paperwork. So it's easier if you just show up and do everything on site. And for the car, the dogs, and ourselves, every border, basically you have to punch out and then punch in, kind of. So like first thing you're gonna do, the order is always a little bit different. But most of the time you'll have to get the car fumigated. Then you get your passport stamped. Then they stamp out, then stamped in. Same thing for the dogs. We're gonna advise, example, Mexico, I'm leaving. So they kind of remove the dog from the registry. I don't know. And then you enter
And the car.
Guatemala. Same thing for the car. And then you enter Guatemala, you have to find that little booth. Most of them will call it like Banco, or for the dog, there's a specific name of it's IPSA.
Yeah.
It's like the
This logo.
is this logo?
Yep.
Okay. So there's like this booth always like in Honduras, for example, it was like right beside each other. It was one of the border that was the best because it was just so simple. Things were easy to find, but it's not gonna be like that all the time. Yeah,
That's the building, the logo you should look for. That's for the car, right?
that's what it is.
Yeah, that's for the dog. So if you have a dog, this logo, do you see it? Yeah. So that's the logo. Look for the building with this logo, and it's gonna be much easier if you have an animal with you. If you don't, just discard everything about this logo.
And one thing we did without noticing is that the car was under my name and the dog was under his name. So every time we got to a border, we could just go each our way and things went much faster. So if everything is under the same person's name, I mean, it doesn't mean it's not going to go well. It just means it's going to take a bit more time. But for us, it took like maybe 45 minutes each border.
The longest one was the first one. They did renovation in Mexico.
Oh, Mexico, yeah. And then Nicaragua was a whole other. Nicaragua.
One step at a time.
Yeah, one step. Sorry.
So
Well,
yeah, so always remember to check out when you leave a country, and then you go like 100-meter further, and then you check in the new country. But you need to show proof that you check out your car and everything you have with you, if you have a dog, and yourself.
Yeah. The only place that it wasn't super clear is Mexico, Guatemala. There was like Mexico is like way before, and you have to look for the I don't know, signs.
The indication.
First sign indication, and you go there, and then you keep rolling, and you get to the border for Guatemala. All the other borders were very like you stop here, then there's nothing in between. There's another little like something, and you stop there. That was
very
the only place
straightforward.
beyond the locale was Mexico, but I think each border is going to be different. So it also depends where you go through as well.
Right. Now, when I arrived in Mexico, I'm not sure if that was the same for you too, but I got my FMM card and the tip at the same office instead of getting it when you walk across the border, right? So there's another office that's called the CTIEV, I think. And that's where I got both. because when I drove my car across the border, I immediately asked them where can I get the import permit for my vehicle, and then they told me how long I'm going to stay, and then I told them a few months, and then they told me that okay, I should go to that office because that's where I can get both. And
Yeah.
like to me, that told me that the $400 deposit, I'm gonna get it back, assuming everything is all right. Whatever that means in like Mexican terms. I'm hoping I'm gonna get it back, but if not, I'm not gonna whine a lake of tears, you know what I mean? It's it's the
Yeah, it's
cost
kind
of
of
doing
a,
business, right?
yeah.
So out of all the countries you've been to in Latin America, right? Like Mexico and Costa Rica, and now you're in a new country again, right? What was your favorite country and why?
Good question.
So
Because we didn't stop so much on the way.
yeah, we didn't stop so much on the way, but the most fun to ride
Guatemala.
Guatemala because there's hotel, like it's mostly an highway all the time, and
Beautiful highway.
yeah, beautiful road, and then there's hotel all along the way, all the Pan America, there's hotel everywhere, so that's pretty easy. We just stop in the middle of the night, stop at a nice hotel, so that was really really easy. And then Honduras as well,
Yeah.
surprisingly Honduras, yeah, we thought we thought it will be the toughest country to be in and out. Was super easy.
People were so helpful on the
Yeah.
border as well. Nice.
Driving was okay, the road are not so good. You drive in the mountain and the road is kind of
It just dropped.
yeah, it's a little bit scary.
You have to be there.
Yeah, be careful. But again, hotel was pretty easy to find on the road, and then the most painful country was Nicaragua by far.
Yeah, by far.
Yeah.
For the border, I think there was like run on the road. I didn't even risk it. Like when we were at the border, I just found a hotel and we went directly there. And I think it was a good thing we did that because on the way there was just nothing the whole time. So it was good that we just
Yeah.
went. I think it's in Leon. Where did we go? I don't
In-
remember where we
yeah.
slept.
Oh my.
But it's
But yeah, keep in mind that all the time, like the best thing, especially like you, if you decide to go further in South America by car, if you go at the border, this logo with all the animal, like go to a vet that know like the rules about this, and they're gonna check everything. They're gonna do Spanish and English, and you're gonna be good to go. Like go to Costa Rica. I think Panama is a little bit different, but we didn't go there.
yeah, Panama, we don't know. But we need like the
Like
certificate.
Panama imposes a quarantine, right? Like 30 days, I think.
I was reading about it, and you need to go to another vet, like
Right before.
yeah, right before like 2 to 5 day maximum before you enter Panama. So
But it was the same for Guatemala and Honduras and everything. You needed to have a vet certification that was less than 10 days old.
yeah,
So like
Yeah.
when you cross the border to Mexico, once you're in Mexico, you need to take an appointment like right before you cross the border to Guatemala. And you want like the certification, and there's a specific document for.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be for Costa Rica, but I feel like because we were maybe a bit over prepared, it made everything a lot smoother. So you need like the
kind of the vet certification. It's the vet stamp.
vet stamp
So
with
that-
his signature, and then there's a whole document we can maybe link in the video. Basically the same as this, but this is like official document from Costa Rica, and we went through with that, and it went super smoothly.
That's really good to know. I mean, it's better to have it and not need it than not have it and need it.
Yeah,
So-
Exactly, yeah.
It's good
Because
to
I
be
think-
over-prepared.
yeah, exactly. And I think that what Nicaragua, Honduras, Guatemala, and Costa Rica follow the same rules. So if and this more strict is Costa Rica. So if you have the rules under the Costa Rican government, like by the vet, everything's gonna be easier.
Well, thank you for that info, guys. I hope that will help our audience feel what it's like traveling by car all this way from Canada to Costa Rica. Thank you very much.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks.
Subscribe now and turn on alerts to never miss any of my future nomadism, dating and business advice videos. Thank you for watching.